Hey y'all, welcome back to Krista's Kitchen. So tonight we have a quick meal for y'all. We're going to do some stuffed peppers. For this, I'm going to use a cheesy kind of taco-esque stuffed peppers. We do another way also that I'll share with y'all another day if y'all like. But it's very easy, very quick to get in the oven, and we're going to hide in some extra veggies. Just not so much because we want to hide them, but I need to use them up because they're going to go bad quickly, and it'll fit right into here. It won't hurt the flavor at all, and it'll make it a little bit more nutritious. But I'm going to move y'all in closer and show y'all how we do it. Alright y'all, so our pan is coming up to temperature. It still needs to warm up a little bit more, but we're going to dump in a pound of ground meat. Now I'm using ground brisket, but you can use ground pork, ground beef, whatever you would normally use for your tacos anyway. And then because I have some onion and some tomato left over in the fridge that I want to use up, I'm going to toss that in there too. It's not going to hurt it. I don't usually add the tomatoes, but we're going to have a tomato-like base anyway, so we're going to add it in for today. But all we're going to do for the next few minutes is let this brown, let these onions and tomatoes cook, and once our meat is all browned up, we're going to add in our seasoning and move on to the next steps. And it goes super fast from there. So we're just going to brown this up, and we'll put y'all in fast forward mode. And I'll see y'all back in just a few seconds for y'all. Alright y'all, so at this point I'm going to toss in my last little bit of raw veggies and show y'all how I kind of cook those down and sneak in a little bit of vegetables before we add the seasoning. So all I did is chop up a large zucchini that I needed to use up and some fairly small pieces. And this will almost act like a stuffing. It'll cook in very well, and it'll really absorb those seasonings that we're going to put in also. So it's not going to make it like a weird taste or texture. It's going to fit really well into things like this. So if you want to add in some extra zucchini, some extra vegetables and stuff, zucchini is a good way to get in some extra nutrients in your casseroles and your things like this without changing your flavors and your textures and making it like super obvious. Now we all love zucchini, so this isn't a problem for us. It's not going to be like a, oh, you tried to trick me kind of thing. It's just an extra filler to make it a little bit more nutritious. And you can even eat zucchini raw, so don't worry about if you don't cook it quite enough. I just want it to be a good texture, a nice soft texture in the mix of this. So I'm going to leave this in here for a few minutes and let that cook. And I'm also, in about a minute or two, once it gets that initial cook going, I'm going to add in my seasonings and my water from a little taco seasoning pack. So just like I would season this meat for tacos or burritos, I'm going to toss in a taco seasoning pack and about 2/3 of a cup of water in just a few minutes. But 2 minutes for this, then we'll add this in our water and cook for a few minutes longer, and we'll see y'all back. Alright y'all, so time to add in the rest of our fillers and get our peppers stuffed. So I'm going to turn the temperature off. Now before we got this going, I went ahead and made a pack of yellow rice just per the package directions. It takes about 20 minutes to cook, so I got that done ahead of time. I also went ahead and roasted our peppers in the oven. I baked them at 400 for about 15 minutes beforehand, so they're softened. I don't like a super tough pepper or a firm pepper once I'm doing this. I know we're going to cook it for about another 20 minutes in the oven, but I really don't like that pepper being tough. So I did that ahead of time. Now all we're going to do is add in all of our mix-ins. So we're going to mix our yellow rice into it that we just cooked. Y'all see I toasted it up. It's brown, not black, even though it might look different on the camera. Let's see. Yeah, it looks black, but I can tell y'all, not that this is healthy at all, but I like to put some butter in it and just toast up my rice beforehand. So y'all are going to get some extra toasty. Some of those things to add a little bit of depth of flavor to it. So we got our rice in there. We're just going to mix all around. We're going to add in a can of black beans that we've drained and rinsed, and then a can of corn that's drained. And these are all things that will help bulk it up, but also add to the flavor. So if you, we're going to end up with extra mix in, but if you want to use this to fill a burrito or put it over some chips or even a salad for the next day, this will be a perfect little mixture for that. You can do so much with this mixture. Now sometimes I like to add in just a little bit of sour cream to give it a little tang. I don't like sour cream myself, but it does help with the flavor and just gives it an extra depth. And then the last two things we're going to add, half of this we're going to leave out one of the ingredients just because it's going to be a little too spicy for my children. So I know that if I add in the queso, they won't eat this. But we are going to add in a cup of cheese. And don't freak out because look at how much this is and how far it's going. I know that a cup of cheese can be a lot, but when you look at how far it's going, it's really not that bad. Now y'all know we love cheese, so it's always going to end up with some on the top as well. Alright, I'm going to scooch all over to the peppers that are right next to us. Get the first half of these filled, and then we're going to add our last ingredient to the rest of this. So we're going to fill in. You'll look how cheesy and yummy it is. We're going to fill in our peppers. Just get it down into the nooks and crannies. I'm just using an ice cream scoop because it makes it easy. But you really want to get them full. Like I said, you will have a lot of mixture left over depending on how many peppers you're making. We're making, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whole peppers, so 10 halves. We're going to fill them up. And then we're going to mix in our last little secret ingredient, which if you're making this just for adults or your children don't mind spicy, they can all be made this way. I just want to make sure and that my kids will eat what I'm cooking because we don't make separate dinners. You're going to eat what's cooked, but I do understand if something's too spicy for a child's palate. Like I'm not going to put them through that. But my children are actually really good about eating different things most of the time. Okay, so our slightly spicy ingredient that we're going to be adding is this salsa queso. So I'm going to mix this in with the rest of what's in the pan and then fill the rest of our peppers so that we can have some kick to ours. And I'm telling y'all, it's delicious. I just realized we don't have any extra cheese to shred and put on top like I normally do. That's alright. I'm going to put these straight into the oven like they are and cook them for about another 15-20 minutes until it just warms everything all the way through and those peppers soften just a little bit more. We'll pull them out and dinner is ready. So we'll see y'all back shortly. Hey y'all, welcome back. So everything's out of the oven now, right at 15 to 20 minutes. Gets those peppers nice and soft, gets all the insides mixed together and bubbly. Now, if you like, just sprinkle it with a little bit extra cheese, or you could even mix in some green chilies or some rotel or something to even kick it up a little bit more in the spice department. But the kids are going to love theirs, we're going to love ours, and we're all going to have a very easy and semi-nutritious dinner that's ready in like 30 minutes. Very quick and cheap and easy to get on the table, especially if you don't feel like being in the kitchen for a long time. But thank y'all for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more of our content, and I'll add a little link that you can see for one of our other videos that we've posted. But we'll see y'all next time. Bye.